Yes, I'm restarting my watch collection. I've been collecting watches for years now, and it's time to just switch things up. It's natural as a collector to evolve through the years. Your taste changes, you fall out of love with watches, and you find yourself wanting watches that you once thought were just simply boring. So what is it that I'm actually going to do? Well, hello there, my name is Kieran, welcome to Top Tier Ticket, I hope you're having a good day. Just a few weeks back, I released my end of the year state of the collection video, where I shared with you my current 8-slot watch collection, and around 12 watches that I had laying around in the extended collection. And to be honest, I was very happy with where that 8-slot collection was actually at. If we rewind back to my 2023 state of the collection, it was a bit of a mess. I felt like there was no real direction with my collection. I felt that I had a collection of watches rather than an actual watch collection, if you know what I mean. Basically, I'd bought just about any watch that caught my eye, without actually thinking where that piece fit into the overall picture. That left me with some massive gaps in the collection. Certain styles of watches were absent, certain brands that I loved weren't present, and too many watches of one specific genre. So I reflected on that collection and spent the whole of 2024 really refining the collection. I decided that I wanted to focus on a smaller, more condensed collection and make that as good as I possibly could. So I sold a lot of watches, a couple of them I regret selling, no doubt, but I had a mission: develop a core 8-slot collection that had absolutely everything. And that brings us to right now. After over a full year of building this collection, I've got to a point where I feel it's almost complete. Now, I actually have two brand new additions since my State of the Collection video just a few weeks ago. I mentioned that the Baltic had to go because of the Ghost 8 position, and it has. I finally managed to get my hands on the Laco Aachen 39mm in blue that I'd been after for so long, and by the way, I absolutely love it. Oh, and also no Ghost 8 position on that watch, which is always nice. So that one very easily knocked the Baltic out of the core collection. I also picked up a new Tissot, but probably one that you wouldn't expect. I've been crushing on the Siderel since it first got released. This watch comes with a genuine forged carbon case, and one of the best looking designs I've seen in a very long time. However, I felt that the £1,000 price tag was a little bit much for a Tissot, so I hung back on it. However, I found a really good deal on one towards the end of December, so I finally pulled the trigger. Now, this watch isn't perfect by any means. In fact, it does have a handful of pretty big problems, but I'm really enjoying it. I'll actually have a review coming out next weekend covering my issues with this watch, so make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want to see this review. That meant that something had to drop out of the 8-slot collection, and I felt that the best switch would probably be the Tag Heuer 2000. The Tissot is still technically a diver, it just has a more unique design, and I felt that this switch added the most to the collection without losing too much in the process. So here is my updated 8-slot core collection with the two new additions: the Laco Augsburg and the Tissot Siderel, replacing the Baltic HMS and the Tag Heuer 2000. I feel that right now, this is the collection that I originally set out to build back in 2023. This collection has everything. We have the big Swiss icon, the Seamaster Professional. We have a quirky everyday watch with the Seiko 5 Cement. Our chronograph is the Studio Underdog Goofy Panda with its mechanical movement. Our dedicated dress watch is by the underrated Swiss gem Frederic Constant with the Slimline. Our field watch is the Rangemaster Mechanical by Islander. We then have something a bit unusual with the new Tissot Siderel with its forged carbon case. Then a dressy everyday watch with the Bowcroft Seeker. Then finally, we have the new Laco Aachen, which is our pilot's watch. This collection is the perfect mix of brands, colours, sizes, cases, designs, straps, bracelets, countries of origin, movement types. It literally has everything. It's a good mix. We have watches from Japan, Switzerland, Germany, Great Britain, the United States. I feel like nothing here is missing. So I feel that right now I no longer have a collection of watches, I actually have a watch collection. I've carefully curated this 8-slot watch box over the past 13 months to get to this point. So yeah, I feel like this collection is complete, and sure, I could upgrade some of these watches. For example, I could maybe get a different Seiko, maybe the Seiko Alpinist, or upgrade the Laco to something like an IWC. That idea just doesn't really get me excited. So this is where I had the idea of just starting the whole thing again. So here's the plan. I'm going to take the Omega Seamaster out of the 8-slot collection, and this watch is going to be the start of a brand new collection. This is going to be the first watch that's part of my 4-slot luxury watch collection. This collection is for watches that are a bit more expensive than the rest, but mainly 4 watches from what I consider to be luxury watch brands. I'll be looking to add a Cartier to this collection, no doubt. Then I'll 100% be looking to add a Breitling. Then the fourth spot is still up for grabs. Maybe a Grand Seiko, a Tudor, a Glashütte Original, who knows. But this will be a small collection within itself. It will have its very own dedicated 4-slot watch box, and I'll be trying to make that 4-slot collection as well-rounded as possible. Then the Studio Underdog and Bowcroft will be leaving the original 8-slot collection and starting its own collection too. This will now be the start of my British watch collection, featuring 6 watches from my favourite British watch brands. For sure, I'll be adding a Christopher Ward to this collection, and I already have a few other British watches that will slide into this watch box. I have the cool Monroe Ocean Adventure in bronze, the beautiful Benjamin James Scarra 4, and the exceptionally unusual Mr. Jones Sun and Moon. Again, this will get its own dedicated watch box, and I will be trying to complete this 6th slot as a well-rounded collection too. Then I'll be taking out the Islander Rangemaster from the original 8-slot collection, and that will be starting a fresh new 8-watch collection featuring my favourite micro brands. And again, I already have quite a lot of micro brand watches that will populate this collection for now, with watches like my Stratton Speciale Automatic in gold, my Venezianico Arsenale, my Signum Cuda full lume dial, the Erebus Ascent Aventurine that I reviewed recently, and I can even bring my Rue TPS back into the fold. Again, I'll be refining this collection over the next year or so. That then leaves 4 watches remaining in the original collection: the Frederique Constant, the Laco, the Seiko, and the Tissot. This will now be the 8-slot Heritage collection. Any watch that isn't quite luxury or micro brand will populate this collection. I'll be looking at bringing in a Hamilton, Nomos, Oris, maybe even reuniting with my old Yema Rallygraph. This is where I'll be looking to bring in some affordable watches from heritage watchmakers. And this is actually the collection that I'm most excited to build. But also I want to start a little collection with some AliExpress watches. Probably just a small one. I'd like to pick up a Baltony dress watch and a San Martin diver. This one will more than likely just be a little 4-slot collection, as I don't really wear AliExpress watches as much as the others, but it would just be nice to have them in the sort of overall collection, if you will. So my core collection will be growing from 8 watches to 30 watches. I've enjoyed building this 8-slot core collection so much over the past year, and I don't want the fun to stop. So my best idea is just to start all over again. This time though, with different collections to build. So instead of trying just to complete one small collection, I'll be trying to complete many small collections. Because as much fun as it was building that core 8-slot collection, it also does come with its downsides. There are so many watches that I wanted to try out, so many watches that I wanted to buy, so many watches that I wanted to wear, but they just didn't fit the overall picture of what I was trying to build. Maybe I already had a dress watch, or I already had a chronograph, maybe it simply looked too close to another watch that I already owned. So I got to a point where I wasn't allowing myself to enjoy watches that I probably should have. This new collection strategy, however, allows me a lot more freedom when it comes to this. I can now have 5 divers, 5 chronographs, 5 dress watches, because they're all part of different smaller collections. It allows me to enjoy each watch for what it actually is, and not necessarily where it fits into my smaller collection. So it's time to buy some new watch boxes and get building. So please tell me in the comments, what watches do you want to see me check out in 2025? Micro brands, big brands, new releases, you let me know down in the comments. I'm really going to try and take as many requests as I can this year, so if you have any suggestions, you know where to put them. If you haven't already, I'd love for you to hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Bye for now.